Welcome to the first episode of Quinlan's Legends Expanded Universe timeline rating, where I go through the entire Expanded Universe Legends timeline according to my personal timeline for the order of things, and rank them all out of 10 stars as I go along. The first piece of Expanded Universe media that we have is A Soldier's Story, Notron in Flames, which was written by Jason Fry. It was a short story. It was published in 2012. Its in-universe year is around 200,000 BBY. It was published by Del Rey. It's from the Essential Guide to Warfare, and it is on pages 3 to 4. Now, the short story details an epic poem called De Werda Verda. And De Werda Verda details the eruption of a volcano that interrupted a battle between the Gel and the Tong. The Gel being the flat-faced and the ancestors of humans, and the Tong being the ancestors to the Mandalorians. And both of these people fought each other on a primitive Coruscant. And it details the death of Doom of Almara, a Tong warrior, and then it deals with Rexutu the Unconquerable, who, when faced with huge odds against them, Rexutu the Unconquerable was able to rally the Tong and deal the Gel a swift victory in the midst of a volcano eruption that gave them the cover to attack and dispatch the Gel and win a victory. The last line of the story is one of my favorite lines. It says, "The Maker had come to unmake, and the Tongs would be his instruments." The Maker being the Maker that they believed in, and they would be his instruments of destruction. So the Tong were extremely warlike before they would eventually become Mandalorians, who were still warlike. But this is written in the vein of, it feels like something from Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit to me. It's got a really epic narrative, and a lot of metaphors in it that are so interesting, and it depicts a really great battle. Overall positives: the story itself is just really interesting, and it's entertaining for the paragraphs that it runs. The last sentence is just really epic, and it's an epic poem, and it does feel epic. The overall negatives: that this wasn't like a full couple chapters, because this is a tiny fracture, it says, of the seventh of it's a tiny fracture of the in-universe poem De Werda Verda, which De Werda Verda, it is the there's more than 700 verses of De Werda Verda divided into 11 chapters. The best known part is a fraction of the 9th chapter. So the 5 paragraphs or so we get is a fracture of the 9th chapter. I wish we could have gotten a lot more and have it completely written, because what we got was incredible, but it would have been great to have it compiled into just a more detailed and full account, since this was only a fraction of a small part of their ongoing war. That's the only overall negative, that it wasn't longer. So out of 10 stars, this is going to get, for me, a 6. The only reason it doesn't get more is it's a short story, so you're going to have to keep your expectations down a little bit. There's not a lot to it, but what is there is frankly amazing, and it's written like nothing else in the EU. It's very distinctive and stands apart with how it's written, and the Werda Verda, which is the in-universe poem that's a soldier's story. Notron in Flames' main body is main paragraph body is just really fantastic, and it is probably one of my favorite short stories in the expanded universe, probably top 10. And it's only a couple mere paragraphs, but I really enjoy it, and it really gets my imagination going. So those are some of the overall positives. And the only negatives is it's a short story. It it you wish it was longer, but there's not a lot to it, which is why it can't be ranked higher. But it's a very solid 6 out of 10, and I really think that this is the starting place for the expanded universe to get into it. I think, sure, you're not going to really know what's going on, but are you going to know what's going on with Dawn of the Jedi? For movie fans getting into the expanded universe, you should really start here. They know what Coruscant is, and now they're seeing a primitive Coruscant with battles being depicted on it back when they were on the surface and there were volcanoes instead of this massive urban area. I think it's a great place to start and just really establishes a really neat, an ancient tone to this starting primitive era of the expanded universe. Uh, so, what would you give it out of 10? What did you think of this story? Let me know in the comments.